So today I'm going to talk to you about two things that I've done in terms of open innovation approaches. One being innovation labs and the other being challenge prize competitions. Really trying to engage the community and bring them together for support and collaboration. Desperate fields such as quantitative and also biomedical, and really trying to get them to come together. But first, my journey started back in 23 years ago in 1996 as a 5th grade safety patrol officer. I fell in love with DC, and fast forward to 2017, I joined the AAAS Science and Technology Policy Fellowship Program. It's been an exciting ride. What you can take from this is not the fact that we didn't have color photography in 96, but for the fact that I injected myself into the middle. So now innovation labs, what are they? They are really residential workshops, really immersive, engaged to really bring the community together to solve some of these intractable problems in health. We really try to engage them and convince them that this is an important endeavor, not only the ideas, but also how we can leverage those ideas going forward and to build collaborations rapidly. So it all starts with those in the room. We have a catalyzing provocative talk. Gears start to rotate. Ideas are generated. We discuss, and we repeat the cycle. And in doing so, we're really trying to engage them and promote them in a rapid environment. But first, it all starts with the topic. And so here are some of the topics we had to address in terms of single-cell, cancer microbiome, and rural health. But really focusing on how to leverage better data approaches in order to solve some of these problems. And I've done 3 since my time as a AAAS fellow, and I'll talk about each one individually. So the first one being mathematical challenge of single-cell dynamics. And this was timely because we have many large project ideas coming out of NIH in terms of big data generation in terms of single-cell heterogeneity. And what we wanted to do is really trying to combat between disease states and cell heterogeneity. How can we leverage data in terms of deep diving into small sample sizes, but really going further in terms of proteomics, genomics, et cetera. The second lab we did was systems biology for the cancer microbiome. And we really had to take the time to merge experimentalists and clinicians and really get them to talk and kind of bridge the divide. We had discourse, we had team formation, and which ultimately led to pilot project proposals and ultimately a white paper on some of the emerging trends between the two fields. The last one was the data science challenges in rural health and environmental exposures, which are completely outside my comfort zone. However, I had to really learn and research and talk to colleagues to try to address some of these challenges and really try to scope out and really what we wanted. And how can we bring sociologists, epidemiologists, environmentalists together and really get them to generate ideas that can leverage big data. But given that, and it's outside my own strength, how do we get everybody on the same page? And some things we use is icebreakers, and one being Picasso and bag, because we're all horrible at drawing with one line our partner in a bag. And so here's me trying to draw my colleague across the table, and there's them trying to audition of me. And I think they caught my essence. We also had a lot of speed networking and knowledge mapping. So you can see here we're going through many rounds of speed networking with catalysts such as what can you do, what can we collaborate on a project together? 30 seconds, go. The territory mapping you see here down below is really trying to get them to idealize where they are, where they fit in the whole spectrum of the innovation lab. And ideally, teams are formed based on one participant from each of these territories. What about the ideas? Throughout the event, no idea was too small, too big. We wanted them to write their ideas and post it up on our wall. We called it the AHA garden, and each one had their own plot. And we wanted to cultivate it between mild, medium, and spicy. And really trying to get them to hone around a spicy idea in terms of collaboration. And so you can see here, we littered the room entirely of paper. We had many ideas, many iteration, team formations, ideas, bio sketches, which came from the Picassos in the bag, and really trying to get them engaged with one another in a rapid environment. And this happened by Wednesday of the event. And so what's the takeaway in the board? Well, I got to work with an amazing, astounding group of people, which ended up being 24 interdisciplinary teams with pilot project proposals, and really showing that they can really rapidly come together, which would have taken maybe years or a year and a half to develop, but really having a rapid environment to develop these collaborations and continue further. And so I'm excited to see how they're going to actually start applying some of these into grant mechanisms. Now I'm excited to apply some of the lessons learned from these innovation approaches and toward data science for K-12 teachers in 2020. So I'm excited to be working with my colleagues now, and we hope to engage teachers in terms of some of the data tools that are available, how they can use them, how they can leverage them in the classroom, and really match it to their curriculum. And so we're excited for that. Now I'm going to put on my other hat. So as a Challenge Prize coordinator, and so on January 4th, 2011, then President Obama signed into law Public Law 11-358, the American Competes Reauthorization Act, which allowed agencies to use Challenge Prize competitions to spur innovation, solve tough problems, and really try to leverage the community. And so one of the problems we have is big data, right? It's going to solve all the problems, but we need to get there first. And so one of the issues is data is spewing across many different nodes, many different data commons, but we want to be able to query that, search it, aggregate it, and analyze it. But to query it, you need good, consistent, high-quality metadata across the data ecosystem. Thus, after a 2-year endeavor as a AAAS fellow, I'm excited to know that we're out in pre-registration. This is a metadata automation challenge, so please, everybody sign up, tell everybody. We're trying to significantly lower the burden of annotating with high-quality, consistent metadata across the data ecosystem. So really tools that can go in there and lower the burden for data submitters and those who want to query data and really link it all together. And now I'm going to take a step back to the other thing that I think is important, which also bridges on this core mission of what I've done, is really supporting others. This is me as a postdoc. We were doing an escape room. We had a team. It was, instead of proteins, it was pro teams. And we made it, 51 minutes. We beat the hour. And so I really enjoy collaborating with others in terms of outside, the core mission of what we do. And this has allowed me to do STEM modules for education, 3D printing, being involved in the Society to Advance Chicanos and Native Americans in Science, the Science and Engineering Festival, which is coming back this April 2020, so be on the lookout for that, working with the Children's Center at NIH, and also just really be involved in mentorship. And now, lastly, my favorite science policy is collaboration beyond the establishment. And so I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of the other AAAS fellows throughout my time and really having that support group to share ideas, frustrations, and to find ways to overcome some of these challenges. And that's been a very exciting, and it's nothing that I would trade of value. And so with that, I thank you for your time and attention.